Good morning. It's Wednesday, February 17th. And during the impeachment trial, at the very end, when they voted for impeachment, there were 7 GOP congressmen who voted to impeach Donald Trump. And many of those congressmen were censured. Many of them were censured by GOP officials in their home states. Now, censure is not a good thing, but these representatives felt that it was the right thing to do. And they basically have put their career on the line. So being censured by your home officials takes a lot of courage, takes a lot of belief in many people, and recognizing that the job that you're doing is not for yourself, not for the officials of the state that you come from, but is for the people of the United States. Now, one congressman, Adam Kinzinger, who in addition to being a congressman, is a 42-year-old National Guard pilot. So he is a loyal American, willing to put his life on the line for this country. He is a leader in being censured. He not only was censured by his home GOP officials, he was censured by a more intimate group. He was censured by his family. This is not a simple thing. Adam comes from a very large family. His father had 32 first cousins. So think of how many people are involved in this censure. He received a handwritten letter from a cousin that was signed by several other family members, decrying his decision as a disappointment to us and to God. Now, what does God have to do with our political system? Apparently, he does. Apparently, in the mind of many evangelical Christians, God is a Republican. Now, Kinzinger must be a stand-up guy because he publicly told people about the letter, and he also said this is probably has been a shared experience by many in America. I am sure he's right. I know many friends who have problems with relatives because they're not on the same page. And that's a terrible thing when politics tears the family apart. So it's bad enough that the family said he was a disgrace to us and to God, but then many family members accused him of joining the devil's army. The devil's army in their mind are the Democrats and the fake news media. And the family also extensively defended Trump against what they called horrible and rude accusations. And they also accused him of believing in abortion and socialism because those are the ultimate sin. Enough to write the letter. But the cousin that wrote it said that she hoped the congressman would be shunned from other members of the party. Now, Kinzinger was surprised by the vitriol he received from his family. It's been crazy when you have friends that you thought were good friends that would love you no matter what, and then you find out that they don't. Now, this is not the first time that Kinzinger put his career on the line. He has done so many times. He has talked about the Republicans in ways that they probably do not want to hear. He has claimed that they are afraid. They fear the Democrats. They fear the future. They fear everything, he has said. He said that works for an election cycle or two. The problem is that it does real damage to democracy. So Kinzinger's a stand-up guy, and he's a Republican. And he's a Republican from the old mold. He's a Republican like Jacob Javits, Barry Goldwater, right? H.W. Bush. Men of character, men who stood by their principles, men who did not become lackeys or toadies. He is not about to abandon the Republican Party. He said, "We have a lot of work to do to restore the Republican Party and to turn the tide against the personality politics." Well, he has a big mission in front of him, but I believe he is up to the task. I believe he will not back down from this fight. If you look at his history, he joined the Air Force after the 9/11 attacks. And he served in Afghanistan, and he served in Iraq. And when he was discharged, he joined the Air National Guard, where he is a lieutenant colonel. And in 2010, he won a seat, beat a Democratic incumbent by nearly 15 percentage points. And then he won again 2 years later with support from Eric Cantor, the House Majority Leader at that point. He ousted another 10-term Republican, Don Manzullo, in a primary following redistricting. Unfortunately, Kinzinger became disenchanted by a Republican Party he believed was centered around opposition to whatever Barack Obama proposed, without offering new ideas of its own. And I believe firmly that he is correct in that assumption. I believe that many of the problems that we are faced with in this country came about because Obama was elected president, because that brought our systemic racism to the surface. So this is not the end for Kinzinger. He has a tough fight in remaining a congressman and maintaining his position in his Illinois district. And maybe he'll switch parties, but I doubt it. Somehow or other, I believe he will continue to fight. And it's a tough fight when you have party officials, GOP officials against you, and you have your family against you. And then the toughest fight of all is that God is against you. And who knows what God will do? I certainly don't. He acts in many strange ways. So maybe he'll turn his blind eye to what Kinzinger's family thinks, and maybe God will be on his side this time around. He certainly needs the help. I never knew that God was a Republican. So that's all I have to say now, and I'll see you in the morning. Bye.